Good morning, students. I am Dr.R.Suganya, Department of Computer Science with Cybersecurity. Today we are going to see about the migrating from HTML4 to HTML5. So migrating from HTML4 to HTML5 involves adapting some new syntax, elements, attributes and features. Okay. So we have some legacy browsers also, including new semantic elements, multimedia support, APIs and for better performance. So the migration process focuses on using these features to modernize websites, ensuring the proper functionality with web standards. Okay. So we know how a little syntax alone will be changed. Okay, so migration, you know what is migration, right? Migrating from one portal to another portal, say for example like Mac to Windows, right? So Mac is one of the portal, one of the operating system, and Windows is another operating system. So whenever, say suppose for example, if we wanted to work one project in one Mac system, and same using the C++ code. Okay, one project is on C++ code and we are working in Mac, and the same project is to be converted to Windows operating system. So the same with C programming. So what happen is a little bit the code will be changed, might should be changed. Okay, so as it has to run in the Windows operating system, the particular C application or C++ or any software it could be. Okay, so we'll have a changes to work on this particular portable operating system. Okay, so Mac is a different OS and we know that Windows is another operating system. So whenever you wanted to migrate a project from one operating system to another operating system, definitely we'll be using changes. We'll be having the changes in the program. That is like a little bit changes like functionality or some semicolons or some naming conventions. Okay, so there will be changes like this. So new syntax will be followed. So the migration process actually focus on like with proper functionality with web standards. Okay, and here also from HTML to another HTML document. Okay, HTML4 to HTML5, how this particular strict code changes. Okay, so say for example here we have the document type HTML, so the edition will be the same and simplest with the short form. Okay, the modern browsers switch to standard mode, which will have some like simplest and shortest form. Okay, and next is it's replacing the deprecated elements and attributes. So that is a previous one we have seen the particular first line. Okay, this will be the elements like font, center, big, frame. We have to develop a frame. We have to have the font size, center, big and small. Okay, so how we can replace it? So using the same CSS for styling formats, but to obsolete elements like you will need to replace or we'll having like to remove the obsolete elements. Okay, so applet, it is used for interactive content, you know that. Okay, and next is header, to represent the header of document or section, and nav defines navigation links. So these are all the tags. Okay, so HTML, one HTML to another HTML if we have wanted to migrate. So these are some tags that we have to use. And nav is to define navigation links. An article, it represents a self-contained piece of content. Section represents a section of content within a document. Footer represents a footer of a document. Aside represents content tangentially related to the content around it. Mark, which highlights a text. Progress, it displays a progress bar. Meter, it displays a scalar measurement within the node range. Ensure compatibility with JavaScript and CSS. So we have to ensure that it has to work in new APIs, and many JavaScript features are now entirely supporting the particular modern browsers. So HTML5 APIs like geolocation to add, and location, local storage, WebSockets to be included, canvas. Okay, and CSS3 to be included for like animations, transitions, like we should have like borders, border shades. Okay, all that. And replace type of some attributes for scripts and style. So for style scripting, okay, CSS. cascading style sheet. So we'll be using the JavaScripts, okay, .js, and using the styles like color, body colors. Okay, so we have many attributes to be can be used. Okay, not only the colors. Okay, we can have all the paragraphs, contents, paragraph attributes, colors, animations, all that. So transitions to new input type. So if you want to add the like buttons, we have to name that buttons, like, so we have to use it input type equal to email, and we can give that particular thing as email, the name of that particular buttons types. And we can also give some comments, also the new input types, to improve the user interactions, and also some new users. Okay, so new user input types to improve, like mainly for user experience and form validations. Okay, so form validation is very important in it. Okay, to add multimedias also, and audios, videos. Okay, so .mp4, and we have like audio files, flashes to be used. Okay, and like other semantic elements like divisions, if you want to have some divisions in that, we want to use contents, footers, sections. Okay, and ensure the accessibility. So the thing is, mainly we have to ensure, like while it has been working correctly, the migration is completing correctly through testing across various browsers. So it has to compete with many things, many browsers. Okay, so using like browser stack to test on different devices and browsers. Okay, and polyfills for older browsers also. So older browsers may not support the HTML5. Okay, the new version of that particular thing will not work in the old version, right? So the modernizer is another tool to test and implement the feature detections and polyfills. Okay, and the next evolution of CSS would be like to introducing the enhancement in dynamic, more responsive web pages. Okay, and the selectors will be the pseudo elements, child, end type of child, end type, first of type, pseudo elements. Okay, box models for width, height, background URL, positions, image, background image, bottoms, box shadows, text shadows in pixels can be given. Okay, so transitions, CSS3 transitions can be given inside the divisions. Okay, animations can be included. Okay, so flexbox layout can be included in the new HTML5. The same like containers, which has displays, justify content, align items, flex wrap. Okay, and grid layout, as we have it in columns like, and grid, gap, and media queries to respond. Okay, so these are all the migrations from HTML5. Thank you.